Stump Station episode 22 and leading the UAE with clean eating. Most importantly, gut health, healthy nutrition, and the founder of Generation H. Tonie, welcome.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to have you on. And for anyone that doesn't know you, who are you?
So I'm Tonie-Maria. I'm a licensed dietitian, founder of Generation H, and mom of 2 boys. I'm also a foodie. I love to eat. I've always struggled with my body weight and understanding how food really nourishes your body. And that's everything that drove my purpose and to what I am doing today.
No, I love that. And why the name Generation H? Like, what does it mean?
I get asked a lot about what is Generation H, what is H. So H is for healthy, happy humans.
No, I love that. I love that. And being a foodie, right, it must be, when someone says they're a foodie, normally in my mind, I think of fast food, right? So, but would you say you're like that as well or not?
No, I love to eat in general. I like whenever I'm bored, I eat. Whenever I'm stressed, I eat. And I remember when I was young, even before studying nutrition, I used to tell my friends, if I had only one wish, it would be to eat whatever I want without gaining weight. So that's
everyone's dream, you know.
So yeah, food means a lot to me. But I've learned how to balance and I've learned how to disconnect emotions from food. It's not easy. I did have binge eating for quite several years. And I'm learning to be more peaceful with that with time. So even as a dietitian, I still struggle a lot with, finding that balance between enjoying it and not feeling guilty about it after.
I completely agree. Even as a coach and coaching people, sometimes when you have cravings for, I don't know, a tub of ice cream, it's sometimes you want to do it. And it does happen. It happens to everyone, right? We're humans. We're emotional. Life happens. And you try and practice what you preach in some way, right?
Yeah.
But before the business even started, like, you said you're a nutritionist. So what were you doing prior to starting this business?
So at the beginning, I studied nutrition. But before that, I actually started as a medicine student. So I was a pre-med student. I loved medicine. I always had that drive to make people feel better. And I was very good at school. I loved to study. So I was kind of a nerd, kind of a student. So I started as a medicine student, pre-med. And then while doing medicine, I realized that, yes, doctors and physicians play a major role in today's world, but nutrition as well. And nutrition has a great impact in preventing a lot of diseases from happening. And that's where I did the shift from being a medical doctor to being a dietitian. But after graduating from nutrition, so I'm telling you the full story, it's quite long, but when I graduated from nutrition, there wasn't really that mindset of healthy lifestyle. There was still that mindset of, I want to lose 5 kilos in 1 month. It was about, weight gain, weight loss. So I changed a bit my journey into helping malnourishment. So I worked with public health organizations, doing more nutrition workshops in schools with underfed kids. And that led me to my master's, where I went and I wanted to study public health. So I did do some courses on public health, and I ended up doing healthcare management and marketing. So from one, step at a time, I studied healthcare marketing, and I started my career with one of the top healthcare communication agencies. And I've worked with global pharmaceutical companies supporting new product launches, patient support programs, events, and so on. And I loved that word. I loved it because it taught me a lot about how the healthcare system works, how patient thinks, and how important is communication in shaping behavior. So before, venturing into nutrition and working seriously in nutrition, I worked for several years in healthcare communication with different medical communication agencies.
Wow, what a journey. And it's gone a full circle, if you will, from nutrition going round. And why did you come back to just going to nutrition and making that a full-time thing?
So when I had 2 kids, I decided to step a bit down from the corporate world. I wanted to be more around my kids and, especially in their very young ages. But after a few months, I decided, no, I have to, no, I had something inside of me. I had to work. I loved being, active mentally and, working on projects. And thanks to my community of friends and my close circle of people, they told me, why don't you work in nutrition? Like wherever you find me in a circle with people, social gathering, you'd find me talking about nutrition. Even before even studying nutrition, I would always talk about food, nutrition, health. So then my friends were like, why you're always looking outside your passion? You're so good in what you do. We love how you talk. You talk in a different way than any other nutritionist we know. So why you don't make it as a business and start working as it? I'm scared that once it becomes a business, I will lose the passion. But so I started very slowly. I started to share content on social media. And my content was actually answering people's questions that they ask me on a daily basis. So let's say my friend comes to me and is like, Tony, whenever I eat or drink coffee with Coffee Mate, I bloat. So I would check Coffee Mate, I would check the ingredients, and I would talk about it on social media. So I didn't start by copying trends or trying to see what others are doing. I really listened to people's pains, listened to people's concern, and started from there. And it grew, and my responsibility grew with it, because people give us more. We want to learn more about this. So, and I felt the passion grew more than what I thought it would happen. So I'm happy that I did it. And yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
It started with simply helping people, right?
Yes.
And helping people you're close to with their problems. And how can that go from, I'm just going to post on social media to help other people, to creating Generation H? It's a big difference,
It's a big difference, but all have the same mission behind of them, to make people feel better inside out, to make them feel, first of all, to make healthy living simple again, true, and to debunk a lot of myths that are happening. People are anxious, people are overwhelmed, they hear a lot of things. They don't know what to believe, what not to believe anymore. So our mission is simple: to make healthy living transparent and real. So how did Tony Nutrition moved into Generation H? It's also another journey, but and it has a lot of personal experiences with it. So while answering people's need, I also started to look at my own health. So even as a dietitian, I struggled a lot with hormonal problems and bloating. That I didn't really pay attention. I just viewed it. It's normal, my body just reacts like this. My grandma had IBS, so I have IBS as well. And I think the awakening thing was my son. So he was born with acid reflux. Then we discovered that he had cow milk protein allergy and so on. But when he started eating solid food, and I started to give him more packaged snacks, his eczema and asthma started to flare up again. We did all kinds of medications. We saw a lot of doctors. Medications helped. When you stop, it came back again. It was until the moment I met with a homeopath doctor. She's a very old doctor. And she's like, what are you? None of the other doctors really asked me this. What are you feeding your son? Because I'm a dietitian. Maybe they assumed that I'm giving him, healthy things. I'm like, I'm giving him everything from the organic shop. She's like, my dear, but not everything organic is good for him. Go back, check what you're giving your son. Stop everything that is packaged and try to bake things at home. She even told me, stop buying strawberries from the supermarket.
Really?
And plant your own berries at home. She was that extreme.
Why not get berries from the store?
Because berries are one of the most type of fruit that is exposed to pesticides. And pesticides, when you're exposed in a big quantity, it can, lower your immunity and cause a lot of, similar to autoimmune responses such as eczema and asthma. So I went back home. I did what she said. I threw everything in the trash and I started to bake my own things. Even he used to love this date bar that I even replicated it at home. And his eczema and his asthma disappeared in a month. Until today, he never had to take the medications again. After that, I started to read the ingredients of the food that I was buying him. And even if it was organic, it had a lot of sugar inside. And even if it was all natural, it still had additives and preservatives. So I felt really, disappointed of myself that I'm a dietitian. They don't teach you this in nutrition school. And I felt that I'm being misled. What about all the people out there? So I started to read the ingredients more, study every ingredient. And I started to talk about it more, Tonie Nutrition. I created hashtag Tonie Approved. And I used to go to supermarkets. I think I was from the very first dietitians that ever went to a grocery store, stood in the middle of the shop in front of everybody and said, this is approved, this is not approved. This is okay, this is not okay. I was kicked out many times.
Of course.
Many times. Even I remember one time security was like, give me your phone. I need to delete everything. It's not allowed because I need permissions to record in supermarkets. So, and I kept doing it because people kept asking for more because there wasn't really, this trend was, this wave of demanding clean label food was happening in Europe and US. But none of it was UAE relevant. People wanted to know what we can buy in the UAE. And I started to do, Tonie approved. People demanded more. People used to send me, messages or tag me, is this Tonie approved? So I felt that people are looking for this trust. They're looking for that credible source. And it's a big responsibility for me because if I tell them it's approved and, it's not really good, it's a big responsibility. But the decision to launch Generation H came from when I started to see the health shifts really happen. So I used to do, and I still do, one-on-one nutrition support, but I also do group workshops when we focus on gut reset programs. So many women join the challenge, and we do small shifts in the type of bread, the type of yogurt, the type of milk, their lifestyle, like very small shifts on every day. And I saw how their health transformed. I received messages like, thank you for existing, really.
Wow.
And I feel so good about myself today. And it was not anymore about their weight. It was about how they felt with their own bodies, how their skin started to glow, how the bloating was, reduced, how they felt energized, how the fatigue, the brain fog, a lot of things. So by seeing experiences like people really experiences that health shift, I was like, okay, I have to do something about this more. I have to be louder. And it was one day that one of my clients who was part of this Gut Health Challenge, she's like, we wish there was a shop where everything that was Tonie approved was sold. So this would make our healthy shopping easier. We won't be misled by labels. And we will be actually buying what's actually good for us. And I was like, that's it. So I created Generation H, a shop where everything is dietitian approved. But the name Generation H was born 10 years ago. So I had it registered 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Because I wanted to do school programs for kids. So I felt that there was, and there still is a big, gap in people and parents and kids understanding what's really healthy for them, making it fun, making it something that is good for them, not a taboo. And so the name was born 10 years ago. The concept was born 2 years ago. I was like, okay, let me put them together. And so Generation H is more than a store. It's a movement. It's a clean label movement. It's a place where you can shop, but also learn, and also belong to a community that care about their bodies and care about what they really put inside their bodies.
I love that story because you started from just trying to be the best mom.
Yeah.
And then that kind of sparked this idea of, going to the stores and picking the right foods. And then just one client saying something completely transforms everything. And it's like a building block of it. And I think it's amazing, right? Because I think even myself, I know that eating the right food can make a difference to eczema. But I didn't know it made a difference to asthma. Yeah. Like it's the first time I've heard that. And if someone said to me, does that, I'd be like,
Yeah.
no way, you got to prove it. And then this is proof.
Yeah.
And it just shows that just because as a coach or anyone that you go to be like, oh, eat this food and you will lose weight. Yeah, you probably will lose weight, but you care about how you feel. You care about long term. You care about gut health and how your body actually feels in yourself and your energy levels. It makes such a difference.
Yes.
And like to go from a whole education system of, let's be honest, when we're educated, we're on the very basics: carbs, fats, protein, what it does to our body, how it makes us feel. But you're not educated on, oh, you go to the store and these little ingredients can make such a difference.
Exactly.
And in Dubai, where the health scene and the fitness scene is so big, how can you truly stand out and be like the place to go for true healthy products?
Yeah.
Because there's so much information here that it's information overload.
Yeah.
How can you be the place to go?
To answer your question first about the asthma, is that sugar is your worst enemy when it lowers your immunity. So when your immunity is suppressed, and whatever you tend to have as a genetically, for example, asthma or other diseases, you tend to have it, more because your immunity is not protecting you anymore. How does Generation H stand out in a competitive, health world? I think that we're more than just selling healthy stuff. We're selling trust. We're selling the truth. We're offering a service. And I don't believe that any other store is doing that. We're not about commercials here. We're not, we're not focusing about business. We're really focusing about the value of offering you what's truly healthy for your body. And Generation H is not there to tell you, don't eat chocolate, don't eat, the sweet treats. It's for people who are trying to buy the healthy things, who really want to buy, the real, energy bar for them. And they are misled by labels. Because I am a mom, I was trying to buy what's healthy for my kids, and I was misled by labels. But we do tell people, go enjoy your chocolate, your ice cream. We enjoy it. My kids enjoy it. My kids enjoy candy, donuts, everything on weekends. But Generation H is born just for, to reduce the noise of all the marketing traps that's happening and to guide people to what's truly healthy for their bodies. So I believe it's not really easy if you want to talk about it in terms of marketing and digital spend and all these things. No, it is hard to, because the idea of Generation H, for me to communicate what we're offering, I have to communicate the other side of the story. I have to tell people, okay, imagine you're in a supermarket, you grab the first all-natural gluten-free product and you eat it. Now I want you to flip the label and read the ingredients. See how processed that is. And then I need to talk about the impact of these additives to your body. I need to build that story for them to convert into buying Generation H. And that's, I feel, the most complex part in the communication. But once they understand what Generation H is, they're like, oh my God, we love the store. We want to shop here. We want to belong to this community of demanding clarity, simplicity, and truth to what we put in our bodies.
And you've said this a lot. You say the word community a lot in a store. And how can you truly create a community with a store? With a brand, it's different. But with a store, how are you creating a community there?
So I believe part of the community started with Tony Nutrition, started with this clean label movement of demanding clarity about what you're putting inside your body. But a brand can build a community when it's providing education, empowerment, awareness, trying to answer pain points and giving, the solutions for it. We don't sell. We just empower you to make the right decisions, whether you want to make it on Generation H or not. Even through Tony Nutrition, when I, give the swaps, I tell them, these are the Tony approved things. You can find them on Generation H, but you also can find them here and here and here. Because I'm here to educate people, to empower them, for them to make the decisions for themselves. And that's how you build a community. So it's by empowering, by education, by awareness, by providing tips.
I love it, because what you've basically said is you're not saying come and buy from us. You're like, do you know what? This is good for you.
Yeah.
We've got it, but if you don't want it, it's fine. There's somewhere else.
Exactly.
And it's not very pushy. It's like, I'm just here to help you. This is what you should be doing.
Yes.
Change this and you're going to feel this. These are your options.
Exactly.
And I think when you give so much value to people, in terms of education, in terms of tips, in terms of saying, if you feel like this, like, you know, you've got issues, bloating, IBS, and ladies, this is what you want to feel like, this is the answer you can get from here or here. People are automatically going to buy from you because they're like, oh, I tried it, it worked. Why not just buy from her? Because clearly her products must be better, right? So it becomes automatically in the brain, but it's so good. And building a brand, a community, and even the business, there's so much to it that people don't see. They see the products, they see the store, they see you.
Yeah.
But what do people not see behind the scenes, which is kind of quite hard?
It is hard. I think I'm going to tear up a bit, but I don't think they see the amount of dedication and work we put behind the scene to stay true to our promise. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'm quite sensitive on this topic because building this business came from true passion. I knew nothing about, starting an e-commerce or a store. So I had to be a one-man show for 2 years between logistics, warehouse, negotiation, suppliers, you name it. I knew zero. I tried to read online. I tried to educate myself. I didn't have a budget to hire someone, so I had to do it myself. It was completely self-funded project. And I think from where I started to where I am today, I've learned so much. So I took every chat I had with every person I knew as an opportunity to learn. So whatever gathering I'm in, I would directly, where do you work? What do you do? If there's something I can learn from, I directly, every contact, every communication was a learning opportunity for me. But there's a lot of work that happens backstage to keep customers happy, because at the end, you're in e-commerce. People can't come and see you in the store, so they can't come and talk to me, and we can bond. I have to keep my customers happy because you need repeat customers for a sustainable business. I have to maintain high quality standards. I have to keep true to my promise. So I promise people clean labeled products, and it takes a lot of efforts to do that. I don't rely on AI to approve products. I do them myself. I remember there was a supplier who sent me, so I approached them because they had few brands at that were Tonie approved. And I was like, can you send me your health list portfolio? And he sent me 5,000 SKUs. I'm like, are these all healthy? This is what you're selling other people as healthy? And he's like, yes. It took me 1 month fully dedicated on this task to review every SKU, the ingredients, because I look at ingredients, but I also look at the composition of the product. If I see, for example, let's say sunflower oil. So there's a lot of, thing about oils, but then I would like, okay, how much are they using in it? Is it that bad? Will the product be better if they used olive oil? So there's a lot of, different aspects that I look at before approving that product on the platform. And I think, people as a customer, they would just see me as a business, and if there was one delayed delivery or missing product or expired product, people do a very big deal. And I understand, they paid money, they want the right service. So I think they don't appreciate, or they do appreciate, but there's a lot of work that happens in the back end, lots of coordination, lots of, alignment to keep, our standards of quality there, and making sure everything is, always good and our customers are happy. So there's a lot of work that happens there.
No, and it sounds like a lot, right?
Yes.
Especially, you can have knowledge on something, but a business is completely different.
Yes.
And what are some things that you still find the hardest to this day when it comes to business? Is there anything that you still struggle with, or is there barriers that you still need to learn at the moment?
Of course, every day is a learning opportunity. And there's a lot of things to learn: how to upscale your business, how to reach more people, how to provide better offerings, how to be different in the market. Now I see a lot of, new companies also like labeling nutritionist approved as their selling points. So there's going to be a lot of copycats, and it's like, it's expected. So how to always be, not on top, but how to on top of your game, and also how to be on top of, emerging science, and how to be, up to date with new brands. There's always new products, being launched in the health and wellness industry. So how to be always updated on that part. Every day is a learning opportunity. Every day is a struggle. I give up every day. Like, really, I text my husband, and he can tell you, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, he would come see me, like, burned out on the floor with all these sheets of, SKUs. And it's like, why am I doing this? I can just be a dietitian, have a stable job. And he's like, he looks at me like, you're so passionate about it. Why are you giving up now? It's like, I can't do this anymore. And then I receive a customer message. It's like, thank you for being here. Thank you for opening this shop. Thank you for everything. It's like, no. If I can impact one person, not per day, per week, I'm going to be happy. So it gives me a drive to, continue doing. There's a lot of learnings on the way. And I believe because I'm new, the setup might not be as efficient as, someone experienced or someone who has a lot of people on their team that tuck. So it's that. It's learning how to turn your business into less work and more services, better services, upscale it, grow it, and, keep being on top of things. Yeah.
And is that why you keep going, just from hearing those stories of you truly helping people? That's your reason why?
I keep going because I believe in it. And I believe I have a clear vision of how Generation H will be. And I believe in it more when I receive these messages, but also when I receive messages like, my bloating disappeared, or I feel better about myself, like real health shifts. It keeps me going. And also my kids, like when I first launched, I would tell them, so I detoxed my kitchen. So I removed all the other products that I was buying. Like, guys, Generation H is here. No, this is healthy. We don't want it. It's not yummy, So whenever I would give them, something from Generation H to school, they wouldn't eat it. Like, no, this is Generation H. We don't want it. So they really resisted it. And I think this kind of resistance is expected even from adults, And now they demanded, like, Mommy, we don't have any more this, granola bar from Generation H. Can you order it? They want more because they tasted it. It's good. They feel good. Because kids will not tell you about their inner struggles. So if they're having any, gut health issues, or feeling tired or fatigue or brain fog, they won't really express it as an adult. But when you see that shift in their energy and their happiness, they're more energetic, and they're liking the snacks. Also, that's like, okay, even if I don't sell anyone, even if I'm selling my kids, I'll keep going. So, yeah.
I love it. And you've mentioned this a few times about gut health, bloating, brain fog.
Yeah.
What are some foods that people are consuming which makes this happen?
So anything that you cannot pronounce, let's start with that, your body will not understand as well. Our bodies today are not designed to digest the food the way it is today. You would hear this also a lot, like, we used to eat this cereal or this cookie all our life. Why now? Like, because the way the food is engineered now is not the way it was before. It is highly processed. It's made of so many ingredients, additives, emulsifiers, acidity regulators, preservatives, you name it, to make it first cost-friendly, to make more money, to make it more shelf life stable, but also to make it addictive. And all these things that you don't understand or cannot pronounce, your body cannot also. And it's fine. It's fine if you eat it in a small quantity, because this is also something people maybe don't understand, is that your body is your strongest detox machine. We have the liver, we have your body is like it's made to detox from things they don't understand. But when it becomes too much and you overload your body with all these toxins, this is where it turns into an inflammation mode, because inflammation is your survival mode.
Yeah.
So inflammation happens in your body when your body encounters stranger bodies, whether that's a virus or when you're cut or something. It triggers an acute inflammation. And that's your body fighting it, defending it, surviving. But what happens if your body is encountering these stranger bodies, which I'm calling the names that you cannot pronounce, every day in big amounts? This acute inflammation turns into a chronic inflammation that is the main reason of 80% of chronic diseases these days. So I would say in small amounts, these ingredients that you cannot pronounce, they're fine. But when they're in every food you eat, from the bread that you eat, no, trust me, like the sliced bread that you find in supermarket, it's like one of the leading cause of inflammation, because we eat bread every day, especially kids in school boxes. Yeah. When it's in every food you eat, it becomes a lot. So first, I would say ingredients that are lab-made, that you can't pronounce, your body can't understand, triggers inflammation. I would say sugar, and regardless what form it is, even if it's coconut sugar or date sugar. So too much sugar also is not good for your health. Sugar alcohols, artificial sweeteners, maltitol, sorbitol, acesulfame, aspartame, they trouble your gut health. So anything really that is, triggering that inflammation, triggering your immunity system to fire up, affecting your gut health microbiome is really impacting your health. And it's found in ultra-processed food. It's found in food that is labeled gluten-free, but then uses other, starchy things and emulsifiers to make it taste good. It's found in high sugary products, all these things. The most dangerous ingredient, and this is like strictly not allowed on Generation H, is high fructose corn syrup. And this is a modified form of cornstarch, which is very high in fructose. So one thing, the difference between fructose and glucose is that fructose gets metabolized by the liver. And the liver converts it to glycogen, which is your glucose storage, or to fat. So when there's too much fructose in your food coming from sources other than fruit, so this is not fruit. I'm talking about high fructose corn syrup. I'm talking about high fructose drinks as well. It's too much overload on the liver, and it's causing something we call the non-alcoholic fatty liver. And this is the most dangerous part, because once that starts happening, your health starts degrading. So high fructose corn syrup spikes your blood sugar, is addictive, and it triggers your ghrelin, your hunger hormones, other than other forms of sugar. So it never makes you feel full. That's why when you eat a Ritz cracker, you always want more, because it's not keeping you full. It's very high in high fructose corn syrup and glucose syrup as well. So I would say that ingredient is overlooked. Also, it's found in a lot of sweet kids snacks. It's found in drinks. It's found in some protein bars, some energy bars as well. And it's a very, very cheap form of sweetener, sugar. So it's very dangerous for the body.
So why do brands use it, like you said, in protein bars, in kids bars, if they're, quote, healthy, but it's giving them high fructose in corn syrup, which they shouldn't be having, which is making it more addictive and long-term not even helping them out? Why are they classed as healthy then if they're using this ingredient?
Because companies are very smart in how they market things. So they see what people care about. If I'm an athlete, or I am a mom on the go, or someone trying to take care of myself, for me, I want high protein. So they use protein as the healthy thing, and they use the high fructose corn syrup or glucose syrup because it's cheap to make that bar affordable for people. For kids as well. So you would find high fructose corn syrup in the ingredient, but you would find stuff on the front label like vitamin B, or high in vitamins, or high in fiber, or gluten-free. Like you'd find all these marketing healthy labels that will trick people and think it's healthy, because not a lot of people read the ingredients. So I would say they use it because commercially it's cheaper to use. It makes food sweeter as well and addictive, so people can buy more from it. And they use the marketing on the front label, what people care about. So if I'm buying a cracker, for example, for my kids, and I see it's high in fiber and high in vitamins. Oh, this is good for kids. I would buy it. Protein as well. So yeah, I think that's what a lot of companies do. But a lot of companies are also changing that because people are demanding clean label, and now they are more aware of this. So I've met with a lot of people that work with big food companies. I'm not gonna name them, but they're changing.
Yeah.
They're changing their formulas now because their products are no longer selling. People are demanding, we want what's good for our bodies. So they have to, meet that demand. Now, one thing I notice people struggle with, and they always ask me, why is healthy more expensive? And this is one of them. It's because like unhealthy ingredients are cheaper to use. But what I try to tell them is that healthy might be more expensive, but not always. You can be healthy on a very budget-friendly, by relying on real whole food as your diet. But what you need to look at is your health in 10, 20 years. That's where the medical bill will be high.
Yeah.
So if you're buying all these cheap food now because it's affordable for you, your medical bill later, hopefully not, but that's where the struggle will be. So yeah, maybe a bit more expensive now, but you live longer, you live happier, you have a better quality of life. All these things have value also and a price for them. So this is how I try. And I also mentioned that you don't need packaged food. You need real whole food. And this is so cheap. So cheap to buy chicken breasts and to buy beef and eggs and milk and, legumes, vegetables. If you eat like the farmers used to eat long time ago, it's the cheapest way of, living healthier and longer.
I completely agree. And I think, don't get me wrong, like you even mentioned this before, yes, we still eat some things, right?
Yeah.
But can anyone get that true balance, right? Instead of going, let's say someone wants to completely transform their gut health, transform their body, transform their lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to go pure farmer organic of, what if it's an animal or a plant, basically, right? But they still want a little bit of the ice cream or the chocolate or a little bit. How can they truly limit themselves to it and find a balance? Is there a certain amount they should only have, or can they only have certain times? What would you suggest for them to prioritize this, but treat themselves now and then? How could they do that?
So I promote a lot life in balance, but I find it also very hard for people to understand it because balance is different for every person. It depends on their lifestyle, on their movement, on also, how much like health changes they need to see. So if I'm someone, for example, who is at a good weight, I'm not trying to lose weight and I want to take care of my gut, I would say middle of the week, 5 days a week, like there's the 80-20 rule somehow that works for people who are trying to maintain their weight but live healthier. So I would say like 5 days a week, you can try to live as clean as possible, and on the weekend just enjoy and not feel guilty. That's the most important part, not feel guilty. But for someone who is struggling to lose weight, I cannot allow the 80-20 rule because when you're trying to lose weight, quality of food is so important, but the quantity and the calories as well. Now, taking care of the quality and the formulation of your plate and ensuring you have enough protein and fiber in your meal will help you be in a calorie deficit and easier. But I cannot allow the 80-20. It will be more like a 90-10.
Yeah.
Now, for someone else would be, I need my chocolate every day, or I need my 2 scoops of ice cream every day. So for this person, balance would be have your ice cream every day, but, don't have too much fruit in that. So there's balance comes in different forms. It's really depend on every person. For me, the most important thing is that whenever you're eating that out of regimen food, don't feel guilty about it because that's where the trouble happens. A lot of people that have emotional eating or complex food body relationship, once they punish themselves for enjoying that bar of chocolate, they fall back into that cycle of emotional eating. They're like, خلاص, tomorrow I'm going to start diet again. So today I'm going to eat my whole cabinet of chips and chocolate and everything because tomorrow I'm starting diet. And that's how your mind works, actually. Because your mind works by just giving a silent message without speaking it out loud. Even if you're eating a chocolate. Imagine you're eating a chocolate. You're on a very strict diet. You're trying to lose weight, okay? And you crave chocolate. So you bring that bar of chocolate and just gonna eat that small square. So you eat it. If you tell your brain silently, I'm gonna eat 2 squares because I'm craving it, but tomorrow I'm gonna start diet. You know what your brain understands? This girl is gonna starve me tomorrow. So let me eat as much as I can today because tomorrow she's gonna starve me again. So your brain starts asking for more. And you end up eating the full bar, the bag of chips, everything that you're telling your body, I don't want to eat. Because this is how your brain is so strong. And next day, you start dieting again. You deprive yourself from breakfast because you ate so much last night. You eat little on your lunch. The dinner comes. You didn't have enough protein in your day. The sugar cravings. And then you're in this, cycle loop of, constantly binge eating and emotional eating. So balance is eating what you enjoy, but enjoying it and not punishing yourself from eating it.
I agree. And there's something you said there as a cycle of when people try to eat healthy and be good, they go so restrictive that it bursts like a balloon and then they just go all out again.
Yes.
And it's just this endless road of up and down like a roller coaster.
Yes.
And whenever we work with people, 9 times out of 10, when we get them to fill out, tell us exactly what you're eating. And we find out because they're trying to be healthy, right? So they tell us what they're eating. Most of the time we tell them to eat more.
Yeah.
Because when they're being healthy, they're restricting their bodies of so much nutrients or so much food that no wonder on the weekend they eat the burgers, the shawarma, the pizza, like whatever, right? Obviously the ice cream. So they're like, oh, I need a cheat day.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, because you've eaten nothing for 5-6 days,
Exactly.
no wonder.
Yeah.
But this is why you always feel like crap.
Yes. Yes.
And and this is the biggest thing of difference between losing weight is obviously in and out.
Yeah.
But once you're at a point where you are happy with where you are and you want to lose a little bit or maintain, it's the quality is so key.
Exactly.
And for someone that I don't know, I will admit I'm probably addicted to some things like anyone else. And I do have non-negotiables like anyone else.
Yeah.
Is there anything for you that you have where you're like, do you know what? If I have to have this on a weekly basis or a daily basis, is there anything that you do?
So I eat chocolate every day. It belongs to my plan.
Yeah.
Actually, chocolate can be very good for you. It has a lot of antioxidants. It has a lot of benefits as well. I have to have my chocolate after my lunch.
Yeah.
And I have to have my cookie with tea in the evening. But I don't have, like, this is me. I'm not a fast food person. So on weekends is where I eat healthier, I think. Because in the middle of the week, I find myself, not having enough time to cook meals and I just, eat whatever, I can. And the weekend is like when, there's family time, there's structured meals. I tend to eat healthier. But there's like, non-negotiable occasions. So if I go to the movies, I have to have my mixed popcorn. The cheese, caramel, salt. Like, it's a non-negotiable for me.
I like that. I'm going to have to try 'em. Cheese, caramel, and
yes,
salt.
I love it. And even sometimes when I make popcorn at home, I put some maple syrup because I love that sweet, salty thing. Non-negotiables is whenever I'm out with friends and, there's like dessert that I have to try the dessert. I'm a sweet person more. I love sweets. I can eat a full bucket of cookies and cream ice cream.
Yeah.
My ice cream has to have crunch in it. So if you're giving me a scoop of vanilla with nothing that's crunchy, I would add M&Ms to it or like crunchy biscuits or something. It has to crunch.
Yeah.
I used to have, when I was in my binge eating phase, the worst like years of my life because I gained so much weight. I used to do that. I used to buy ice cream, crunch M&Ms, eat biscuits, and then have chips because then I wanted the salt and then I wanted the sugar again. So I think that's where my addiction is. I like chips. I like crisps. I'm not the fast food kind of, let's order burgers or pizza.
No.
It's something I can easily say no to, and I can order a salad. I love salads. I love salads. I love healthy food, but I love the snacks. I love snacking. So I think, yeah.
I think I feel you. Like, I'm someone that I will not buy chocolate in the house. Yeah. I do not have the willpower. So I won't buy anything. So my partner's always like, do we have anything sweet? I'm like, no, we don't. Yeah. If you want it, we can order it.
Best.
But if we want it, we can order it.
Yes.
Otherwise, I will eat it.
Yes.
It's a funny story. I went to an event and brought home, like, she's like, my mum came and she just gave me all these chocolates from the event. And it was like 2 trays of chocolate. Yeah. And I was like, we shouldn't have that because I don't trust myself. And obviously I ate a lot of it. But I know myself, and I think it's knowing who you are, right? Yes. You're clearly someone that can have it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm someone, if I'm going to have it, I'm going to have it, or I won't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people need to realize is, what is your willpower? Exactly. What can you do? What is your non-negotiables? Yes. And, your background of, like you said, you gained a load of weight, and I think that kind of sparked in you changes and helping people go through the same thing.
Yes.
And there's so many people that, in the nutrition and coaching space that have different opinions. Yes. But what are some things that you believe that maybe some nutritionists and other coaches don't believe?
I think what I believe in, a lot of other dietitians believe in it, but others also don't, is that there's no one size fits all. As you said, I tailor my programs to every person's background, history, culture, emotions, mindset. So there's no one size fits all. Calories matter, yes. Quality matters as much. So they come hand in hand if you're talking about weight loss or weight gain, building muscles and all these things. I believe in balance, but it's not something you can teach. Mm-hmm. It's really something you personally have to journal, as you said. And it's not easy for me as well to control the chocolate. It depends on which mindset I'm in. If I'm in that emotional eating setup, some phases of my life I go through this, I cannot control. So when I'm in that phase, I just keep it out of sight. Yeah. But if I'm in control, and which is very hard to be, and I feel a lot of women around me also struggling to be in control because of all the hormonal shifts, the stress, the cravings that is beyond our control. When I'm in control, I can. And I think what helps me a lot be in control, and what a lot of coaches and dietitians overlook, is the power of the mind, and is the power of building a positive relationship with food. It's teaching, it's guiding, is that if you eat the chips today because you crave it, that's okay. It's not gonna ruin your diet. There's not gonna be any, negative side effect that will happen. It's just maybe instead of losing, 1 kilo that week, it might be 0.8. It's not that big deal. And I think one major thing is that I never look at dieting or, any healthy program I do as a mean to an end. It's a lifestyle. Yeah. And the moment you start putting goals that once I achieve it, it's done. It's already done. Because I teach my clients how to do the small habits, the small shifts, in a way that becomes so automatic in their life that they can take this program that I do for them and become a lifestyle. It became my lifestyle. And when I saw the shift happen in my own health by doing these shifts, these small transformation, instead of eating this, swapping it with this, reading ingredients, I want this for others as well. So I invest a lot of time when I'm onboarding new clients, like 2-3 hours calls, just to go through the program together, because I want them to feel that this is something they can do for life, and not something that, okay, let's see your weight at the end of the month. Oh, you didn't lose. And one of the things I tell them, I don't care about your weight. Yes, our goal is weight loss. It's going to happen. I care about how you feel in your clothes, how you feel in your body. When you look in the mirror, to love your body. Because the moment you start talking positive with yourself and you start taking care of your body as if it's your temple, this is where your body will start responding back to you. and will stop giving you the results that you want, because automatically you will start focusing more on giving it the right nourishment. So the moment you want to eat that bag of chips, you say, no, but this is not serving my body. Why would I do it? It's not because it's going to ruin my diet. It's because it's not giving me any benefits. So you set it on the side. So I think this is the most important thing that I focus on, is not focusing on weight, is focusing on how you feel, building stuff that fits you, your lifestyle, and enjoying it, because it's going to be your life. It's going to be there for your life. It's not going to be there and you're going to lose weight and then you go back to your old habits. So
I love that. And I completely agree, because so many people do go that way of,
yeah.
hey, I'm going to do 6 months or whatever, and then halas, go back. Yeah. And over the past year and a half, when I was working with women a lot more than men, is women obviously through cycle there's a lot more emotions to it. There's a lot more cravings to it. They need to eat more calories when their period comes around. There's so many things to it that I had to learn more of. And also women need to understand as well is that, like, you're going to gain weight during certain times of the month.
Yes.
And obviously if you're doing everything, quote, perfect, that's inevitable. Yes. It's going to happen. Yes. And what are some things that women could probably take advice from when this time of the month comes around? They get more cravings. They need to eat more food. Yes. How can they actually enjoy the things that they're craving emotionally without feeling that guilt? Because that's what a lot of women I feel struggle with is, I've got these cravings, I'm more emotional, I'm more stressed, but I'm on a diet and I can't eat.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Yeah. So it's nice that you mentioned this, because part of the questionnaire that I send my clients is that when is your period due? So I would know, like, how's their cycle like, and I tailor the program accordingly. So yes, because of the hormonal shifts, the second part of the cycle, you get more cravings. So first of all, I try to tell them to eat more good fat and good carbs. So sweet potato, avocado, nuts, for example, nourish themselves with the right nutrients, the right seeds as well. And then if they craved something, first of all, if you're following a gut healthy diet, an anti-inflammatory diet, a lot of these cravings will be reduced. And I have you ladies, like, we got our period without noticing it. Like, they didn't even have any PMSing before. They used to have very strong PMS, very, very strong PMSing. And by just following this gut healthy anti-inflammatory program that I set for them, they get their period without having any cravings. Because a lot of the cravings is because of bad hormonal balances that happen because of the inflammation and the gut health issues. And second of all is not to think about your period. It's not like, I have to eat because, I'm craving, because also it's a lot mental. Like, I allow myself to eat more now because my period is due. So try to disconnect from the idea that your period is due. Some of the craving will also reduce. And third, if you have that sweet craving, have some dark chocolate, which is also great for PMS symptoms. Some nuts and dates, some dates with nut butter inside with some cinnamon. We try to keep our plates, like main meals, blood sugar friendly, to keep our blood sugar in control. Focus on adding a bit of protein, carbs, and fat in the meals. So adding a bit the calories with the good food. And if the cravings will be less, but if you're craving, try to satisfy it with that dark chocolate or dates, maybe some fruits. If the craving was very, very strong, we would give in with a smaller quantity. But usually I didn't happen to have clients that their cravings were something that they couldn't control, because how the diet is programmed, it balances their hormones and the cravings automatically reduce.
No, I love that. I'm definitely taking some tips on there, because some of the ladies I work with, it's different month to month. Sometimes you can take this advice. And one thing I have realized is when it comes with the women that, given this example that I'm basing it off, is they'll have cravings and 1 month is fine, the next month is not.
Yeah.
Normally, I've realized, I don't say this to them at the time, it's normally due to they've had extremely high stressful work week. They've eaten a lot less food over the past couple of days. So their cravings are a lot more because they're starving their body a lot more.
Yes.
I don't say that at the time. I'm more nice about it. But normally I'm like, it's okay. You can go and have something small. But usually it's if stress is high, food is low, it's going to connect a lot more. And I think, ladies, if you can maybe not have as much stress during this time. I know it's hard with work. It's hard with work, especially if you have a business. And obviously try and eat the similar foods at the same time as increasing more. It can make such a difference if you're following a gut-friendly food, right? And you know, you're a mum, business owner, like you give so much amazing advice, and you even said yourself you get stressed and you have cravings.
Yes.
How do you really balance this all?
I don't. To be honest, I didn't really find the right balance yet. I'm learning, and this is one of the learnings as well that I try to do. I think I'm focusing too much on the business now, setting up everything. Because I have Generation H, I have Tonie Nutrition. It's like two businesses as well. Creating content is not like something that I enjoy doing it, but it takes a lot of time to do it. So I think where I think I'm lacking the balance is with my kids. I actually started everything because I wanted to be more with my kids. So I quit the corporate world because I wanted to be more around my kids, and I'm not. I barely see them on some days, and it's really hard to find the balance. So now I try on weekends to be fully disconnected, and I saw that it's really impacting my kids because I had an event on Saturday and I was wearing Generation 8 shirt, and my kids were like, "But mommy, you said Saturday you don't have work." So they realize how busy I am, but at the same time, I want my kids to learn that women can be entrepreneurs, that parents work hard to provide you a good life. I want them to appreciate, you know, the efforts that we do. So, and I feel this kind of, you know, teach them that in life you have to work hard for what you truly believe in. And my kids know how passionate I am about health. I teach them all the time, even if they don't agree with me. But now in supermarkets, when we go, my son, my 6-year-old, would grab a cereal and would tell me, "Mommy, is this Tonie approved? Is this on Generation H?" They really believe how passionate I am. So whenever he wants to take a candy with him to school, I'm like, "Mommy, how can you take this to school?" And we do Generation H. People will think this is, you know, on Generation H. And he responds positively with me. He knows how much I'm working to make this happen. So I need to learn more on balancing things. For now, it's, you know, turning off on the weekend. But slowly is trying to find a system that I can work more efficiently when they're in school and try to, you know, disconnect when they're home. I try as well to spend dinner with them because part of being a dietitian and a mom and a pediatric dietitian, I strongly believe in the power of eating with your kids. So I try to make dinner a bonding time, and I spend the dinner with them. But there were some times that I couldn't. There were times when I couldn't put them in bed even. My husband works a lot as well. So thank God I have amazing nannies that provide care and love for my kids, and they don't feel that gap. But the love of a parent is not replaceable. So, and I think every mom, even if she's not working, will have this guilt that it's never enough for the kids. Like, we work, we run, we try to provide, we try to make them happy all the time, but kids are kids and they can make you feel guilty at any point. So I would tell every mom that if you're feeling guilty that you're not doing a good job, that's a right sign that you are doing a good job because you care about what you're doing. And no matter what, your kids feel your energy. So I try my best to disconnect my stress and not to relay it on the kids, especially my first son, because when I gave birth, I had baby blues, so I had postpartum depression. I was stressed all the time and anxious. I'm someone who's I was actually diagnosed with being control freak, so I wanted everything by the book, and so it made him a stressful boy. He tends to have anxiety more often than his brother because I learned for the second to be more chilled. And whenever I'm PMSing, my son knows. And he PMSs with me. So you come, So he sends my energy. And what I'm trying to say is that kids are so sensitive to what you're feeling. So before trying to create a balance, try to be present, fully present, with all the positive mindset with your kids. Don't try to be present because you want to create balance, but you're on your phone or you're stressed and you're like not even responding to them, because sometimes I feel myself doing this. I think before trying to find the right balance formula is try to be present in the moment with my kids, try to disconnect from the stressful life and be positive, joyful around them, and truly connect with them rather than focusing, yes, I need to spend 3 hours with my kids and all these 3 hours I'm on my phone. So I prefer to finish whatever I have to do on my phone. So when I sit with my kids, I'm really present with them.
I love that, because 3 hours of being on your phone is not as good as 1 hour of playing and being there 100%, right?
Yeah.
And I think what we don't see, and even when you said some of these stories, it makes me think of my childhood, right? So we always used to have dinner together as well.
Yeah.
Didn't last very long. My dad said I spoke too much, so we had to stop. So he's like, you talk too much, we can't do this. No, but seriously, it was my mum used to work weekends as well, 7 days a week. And it really ingrained in me hard work. Yeah. So even like my mum and dad working 7 days a week. So kids see short term. They only see short term. They're like, I want you now. I want attention. Yeah. But the long-term effect you have on them when they see that, you won't ever see until their 20s and 30s. Yes. And I think you're completely right. Many parents want to satisfy their kids short term. Yeah. But sometimes you've got to sacrifice that to help them benefit long term. Yes. And I love that. Like, I know I don't have kids, but this is just going on what everyone said to me as well. But it's so true, is that kids are so emotional that they want you all the time. You're their superhero, right? Yeah. They're going to love you as a superhero until they're teenagers, probably. Yes. and
hope more.
But it's like as teenagers, right? And so you are their number one, mum and dad, right? So they don't care about 10, 20 years from now how their impact is. So I think you're right. If a parent feels like they're not doing enough and they're trying to do more or trying to be better, that's how you know you probably are. Yeah. And I love that the most. And even though you are juggling mom, business, life, food, everything, it can be quite tough. Yeah. But how do you personally de-stress yourself alone? Do you do anything yourself?
I hate to be alone. This is one of the things. When I'm stressed or I have upset or something, I have to talk to someone. I have to let it out. And I think this is where I'm different from my husband. So my husband, whenever he's upset or stressed, he has to be fully by himself. Like, don't even ask what's wrong. No. For me, I need to be asked. I love attention. I need to be asked what's wrong. I need to cry. I need to let it out, because that's how I detox my body from it. I have to speak out loud about what's bothering me so I can feel better. Yeah. So when I'm stressed, which is every day now, I try to...
I love the honesty. It's just every day.
Yes. Yeah. So I deal with, there's the chronic stress that's happening and there's the acute stress. So if it's like acute stress, like I have to solve something now. Before, I used to resort to food. So I used to distract myself with eating. Now, I pause, I walk 5-10 minutes. I do some deep breathing, and it really helps reset my system. Now, for chronic stress, which helps a lot, is movement. I love to work out. I love to exercise. I love to play paddle. I think that's my really, de-stressor. Walking. In the evening, even if I'm tired, if I find myself sitting on the couch to turn on Netflix, I'm like, if I have time to watch 1 hour series, I have time for a 20-minute stroll around the neighborhood. So I go out, I ask my husband, you want to walk with me? Even if he doesn't want, I go for a walk, call a friend, talk with someone. So I deal with acute stress by doing some deep breathing, taking pauses, remembering the good things and not stressing, especially coming from someone who tries to control everything. It's really, really hard. And for the long term, to be like with a low because your cortisol goes ups and down, and this is normal. But to keep my chronic cortisol level balanced. I exercise. I try to sleep earlier, disconnect from my phone earlier. Showers help me a lot with brainstorming. All the innovative, like creative ideas come when I'm relaxed in the shower. I don't know why. And eating healthy, because eating unbalanced food and ultra-processed food trouble your gut. And your gut is where 90% of serotonin is produced and 70% of dopamine is produced.
Really? I didn't know it was that high.
It's so high. And that's why when you've been binge eating on unhealthy food for some time, you have, that depression that comes after, that brain fog, sleep problems, fatigue, because, your gut and your brain is directly connected, and it's two ways. So, for example, if you have a homework that you need to do or a presentation, you directly feel it in your gut, right? You feel like your butterflies in the gut or your cramps, you can't eat, some people vomit, it's directly linked because you're stressed. But the other way around is that when your gut is inflamed and triggered and out of balance, your sleep, your stress is out of balance as well, because all these important neurotransmitters are not being produced in a sufficient amount to keep you motivated, to keep you alert, to keep you, to have that driven feeling. So we see symptoms of brain fog a lot when the gut health is out of balance. Inability to focus, insomnia at night. So a lot of not gut-related issues appear. So for me, to deal with stress, it's workout, it's sleep, it's hydration, and it's food. So I try to take care of all these pillars as much as I can.
I love that. And for anyone out there that may have brain fog, can't sleep, their energy's out of place, right?
Yeah.
Lack of dopamine. What are 3 things they can do or 3 things they can change in their lifestyle now to make their gut health better?
So yes, first thing I would say, to take care of your gut, first, most important thing is take care of the food, but your lifestyle also matter as much. So 5 to 10 minutes walks after meals really help with the digestion and helps with stabilizing your blood sugar as well. It's been proven by studies. So I take 5-10 minutes after having a meal, even if it's walking around the house. Eat slowly. Disconnect. One of the biggest issues we are facing in this modern life, that is, I call this modern life, and I call something modern inflammation. And we can talk about it another episode because it's like one big thing. One of the most characteristics is we're always in a rush. We're always in a rush. We eat while on our phone or in front of a screen or reading emails. And that eating in a rush keeps our system always in a fight mode. We never get that reset, and it really impacts your gut, health. So I would say, pause for 15 minutes. That's everything that you need. Remove your laptop on the side, your phone, connect with that meal that you're eating for 15 minutes. Chew your food properly, because your digestion starts in your mouth, even starts when you smell food, actually. Eat slowly, eat mindfully, enjoy your food. This not only helps with the digestion and with the gut health, it also helps with satiety. It helps you eat less in the long run, because it takes 15 minutes for your brain to understand that, okay, there's food in my stomach now. Okay, I'm not hungry anymore. So you tend to eat less eventually. You digest better, you have less bloating, you have proper gut. So second is eat mindfully, not in a rush anymore. Not standing, not reading emails, only you and that meal. And third would be sunlight. 5 minutes sunlight in the morning really helps reset your whole system, really helps with gut health, with your overall well-being. And all these things are for free.
I love that. I'm definitely going to take on the eating slowly because I do not.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a typical guy. I think it's a guy thing for sure.
Yeah.
Eat fast, watch something. And there's a trend on social media. Have you seen where the partners are the woman tries to eat at the same speed as the man. Have you ever seen those? It's quite funny where they're filming and the woman's trying to eat at the same speed as the man, and like his burger or whatever they're eating's gone and she's had like one bite. And it's like, but it's true. Like I think men should definitely take that on.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know I am.
Yeah.
And what for you is the long-term goal for yourself, right? I know that you do nutrition, you help people, the business Generation H. What's the long-term goal for you?
For me, as Tonie Nutrition and Generation H, or as a person?
Let's go both.
So my vision of myself is to always keep doing what I'm doing with passion, with love, keep being driven and motivated to do it. I want to grow Generation H as much as I can to have impact, positive impact. As a person, I want to be successful, but by creating the right balance, as we spoke. Have enough time for my work, enough time for my family, enough time for myself. And I hope to be the mom that my kids will remember when I'm not here anymore, and they will be proud of me. So my vision is, I would say first is family before work. So I would say to keep to keep life for my kids safe and healthy, not necessarily happy, because they should be unhappy sometimes, but I would be to be able to provide them with a safe environment, always an environment where they can thrive and be the best versions of themselves. At the same time, try to be the best version of myself outside motherhood as well. And I believe every woman should also think about this, because you're a mom, but you're also a person. So you should not ignore your needs, ignore your dreams, it's never late to follow your dreams. It's never late to follow what really drives you. You can start small and grow it slowly, but start from somewhere. And there's something I forgot to tell you, and that was, the turning point in my career is that after I stepped out of corporate life and I decided to, start nutrition a bit, and I felt it was a bit hard for me because there's so much competition in the market, I started to apply for work again. And I got immediately recruited into this amazing job, amazing pay, like the highest salary I've ever reached, amazing position, work from home. So anything like you would...
Everyone dreams of, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
And I started for 1 month. And for that 1 month, I was struggling so much because I was already driven by nutrition, by Generation H. I had that idea and I wanted to grow. So I couldn't be Tonie, the employee of the month anymore, because I was always, trying to deliver the best always. And I couldn't. Something was turned off and I couldn't be that person anymore. And I was struggling and I was telling myself, but you need that income to be able to grow Generation H. You need a salary to grow your business. So I sacrificed a lot and I was like, okay, even in those team calls, I was like, I couldn't do it. And then I attended Gulf Food for the first time. I called my husband. I was like, I'm resigning. And he was like, go for it. And I think having a supportive partner was like amazing. And he was like, go for it. Because he saw also how much passionate about everything I was doing. So I was like, okay. I sat on the floor on Gulf Food between all the exhibition centers. I called my boss. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I promised you I'm going to be able to handle this job with the best that I can, and I can't do it. I have to be more present with my kids, and I have a dream to follow. I quit. I have 3 months notice period. I will do my best to be able to deliver, everything at the top of my whatever I can, but I quit today. And she was so supportive, and she's like, go for it. You don't need to serve the 3 months even. And since then, that day till today, I never slept again.
Yeah. Honestly, it's amazing. That's such a good story because many people get scared of just doing it.
Yes.
And I feel like you tried to go back and you're like, I don't care.
I had a calling.
Yeah.
I had something inside of me telling me, Generation H would be something very big, and I still have that feeling. I had a calling that whatever I'm doing in the nutrition space is unique, it's different, it's real. It's no longer, about following trends. It's about actually debunking trends, grounding people back to reality, to real science, to what's practical, to what's work for them, and not follow such, because somebody said oats is bad for you and it's the food of the horse, we quit oats. Maybe it is good for you. Every person is different. And yeah, I'm going to keep working as hard as I can, as long as the passion and love is there, because you have to have love for what you do for it to grow with you. Otherwise, you'll be dying slowly with whatever you're trying to create. So
I love it so much. And I think anyone that has a passion for anything should just go for it, because this is what it turns into. It turns into an obsession of wanting to get something great. And you're already doing absolutely amazing, by the way. So give yourself some credit, right? You're doing so good for how short time it's been and the growth of it and how it's been, and it's truly amazing. And clearly even the feedback you've got motivates you every day, which is truly so good. And the products that you guys put out there, the foods are so good. I've been eating some between podcast recordings, but it's so, and I think making people so aware of the difference is needed in this industry. Especially like myself, that helps people with just changing their body and changing their lifestyle. It's like, right, once you've got that, we need to know that long-term effect. And I think that's so key. And what you're doing is truly amazing. And the way we end the podcast is with quick fire questions. And it's not as quick fire as what everyone thinks, but we try our best. Okay. So what is one food or ingredient that you'll never eat again?
Crickets.
Crickets?
Yes.
Actual crickets?
Yes.
Okay, I think I had those, but
actually, I tried it in Anuga in one of the food exhibitions. It's everywhere now. They're using cricket protein for protein bars. It's a clean form of protein, and it's also animal friendly because you don't have to kill the cricket; it dies on its own. So it's come kind of under that animal friendly zone. And they're so tasty, by the way. Like the protein bars, you wouldn't know that it's made of cricket protein, and the chips from crickets. But I don't think I can do it again.
Well, I need to read that. I don't want to be eating crickets. I need to make sure. What is one supplement you recommend to people if they are struggling and they feel like they might be lacking? Is there anything that you would recommend?
I would always recommend start with your food and start with your lifestyle habits. If these two fundamentals are in place and you're still struggling with something, we look into supplements. Now, there's some supplements that become essential at some point of our life. One of them is omega-3, especially with all this chronic inflammation that's happening because of the omega-3, omega-6 imbalances that's happening. We need omega-3 more. We don't have a lot of it. Magnesium glycinate before sleep helps you reset your system, calms down, improves your quality of sleep, has some impact on blood sugar as well. And if you don't have access to sunlight, real sunlight, vitamin D also becomes essential. But supplements have a role to supplement. So work on your fundamental core things, your food, your lifestyle, your sleep, your stress. Then think about supplements because they're not magic pills. If your food is out of place, if you don't work out, if all the core things are not there, no supplements will help you.
Yes, true.
So
I completely agree. And what is success to you?
So when I was young, success was to be always on top. So I was top of my class in school, top of my class in university. But I learned that being top of the class doesn't teach you how to be top of the world in real life. So for me, success is having a positive impact on the world, following something that really grows you mentally, feeds your soul, without losing yourself.
I love that. That's so good. And what is your favorite cheat meal or cheat snack that you just have to go to when you need it?
I would say sushi, because a lot of people think it's healthy, but it's not that healthy. So it's my cheat. I love sushi, Japanese food in general, and popcorn. Cinema popcorn.
I thought you were going to say popcorn after our conversation.
No, I order it home sometimes.
Okay.
Like I would order that mixed thing. If I'm really craving it, I would.
I'm going to have to try all that together for sure. The cheese, caramel, salt. Oh, I have to give that a try. And what is one quote you live by?
Oof, I have so much quotes I live by. I love quotes. Generation H quote is, what you eat today is how you live tomorrow. Tonie Nutrition quote would be, small habits done consistently on a daily basis creates change much bigger than one big action done occasionally. And personal Tonie quote would be, life is too short. So do what you love, go for it, take risks, take leap, believe in what you do, and what you do will happen.
Honestly, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And for the audience out there that have listened to the whole podcast and love it, how could you give them one piece of advice to summarize the whole podcast?
If you'd know me by now, it's, that it's so hard for me to summarize things. But I would say, stop chasing. Should I talk facing the camera?
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Stop facing quick fixes. Stop comparing yourselves to others. Lead your own story. There's no one size fits all. Do small changes day by day. Small habits, they build up. They lead to change. Love your body. Love yourself. Stay positive, and change will happen.
Honestly, I love that. And for anyone that wants to follow you, what are your socials? I'll tag them down below, but what are they for Instagram or any other socials that they can find you in the business?
So they can find me at Tonie Nutrition, Tonie IE, and they can find Generation H at generationh.ae.
Perfect. Honestly, it's a pleasure to have you.
Likewise.
It's been so good, and I'm so excited to hopefully see you again next time in Dubai, because we've got so much more to talk about. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much, Liam. It was amazing. Thank you for awakening a lot of things also. A lot of questions I haven't answered myself. I answered them today, so thank you for that. And looking forward for more.
Honestly,
thank
you're
you.
welcome.
All the best. Thank you.